Uh, Early morning Stardew. What a rare treat. I usually don't wake up early. But you know, I'm someone that has like ADHD, so when I get energy, I I feel like I gotta use it. I gotta really use it. To lose it, I guess. Like I'd only had a few hours of sleep, but if I get uni there, yeah. Like if I had gone back to sleep, I feel like I would have woken up still tired. I was making myself never get up at this time. Hey, but you're up today. Glad to see you. How are you doing so far, Demon Chuckle? Boo! Ah, it's Mason. Terrible. Oh no. Oh no. If you want to talk about it, I'm here. But if you don't want to talk about it, I hope it gets better. Whatever's going on. So I got this wildflower grass mod, and it's I mean to be honest, it's very pretty, but it is kind of a lot. It's kind of a lot. I know that there's a version of it that's a little bit less saturated, and I feel like that would match better with what I've got going on. Yeah, hey Mason, how's it going for you today?
This is a certified hood classic.
It is. Certified Hood Classic. Oh, I forgot to add the premium the channel points. I guess it's gonna continue to be an off-menu item for now. Like, I don't remember what it's called, but there used to be this stupid urban legend about if you go to McDonald's at exactly 10:30. Having the alert noticed. Oh hey, thank you, Bully. Thanks for stopping by and thanks for the lurk. But yeah, there used to be this weird legend that oh, and thanks for the follow earlier too. I see it in my notifications. Thank you so much. If you go to McDonald's at exactly 10:30, you could get some like McDouble with an egg patty on it or something like that. Or like a Big Mac but with sausage patties instead of burger patties, because they would still have the breakfast stuff out. That was the rumor. It's like that when the internet wasn't widespread, this was the extent of how exciting and spicy rumors got. Like you know, rumors spread at like family gatherings and churches and through chain letters. I remember this other one that my mom went on about for a long time. About a lady who supposedly had gone to a restaurant and gotten a cookie for dessert. She ordered it, and she thought it was going to be a few dollars, you know, regular old cookie price. But when she got the bill, she noticed they had charged her what she thought was way too much. So she somehow got the recipe, which is what makes me think, like, obviously it's BS. No place is going to give you their recipe for something. Like, just ask. Even if you offered to buy it from them, no place is going to do that, I don't think. But she somehow got the recipe and then released it for free online and shared it around, and she's like, it's a forbidden cookie recipe. This is a stolen cookie recipe. It's so good, and you should eat it and enjoy it and know that it was taken from those bougie assholes at that restaurant. And true, that does make food more delicious. But yeah, it's not a very spicy rumor. I feel like these days the rumors and memes are way spicier. I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I just think that it is. Let's see. I need some tomatoes. Any of this stuff? No. Okay. fruit away. Oh, this theme. I picked a playlist of like Harvest Moon music, and this theme is just like instant nostalgia for me. Harvest Moon 64 title theme. Oh my goodness. I heard this so many times. I've listened to this for so many hours. Not specifically the title theme, but kind of, to be honest. Because it's a bit of a bop. Talking about spicy, you have ghost pepper cup noodles. Oh, that sounds painful. Hope you're ready. Nom nom nom. Damn, out of room. Let me take some of these tulips that are just like hanging out solo. Berries. There. Gooey. What a description. Yeah, to be honest, it's kind of surprising to me, like, how good Harvest Moon 64 was. How much fun it was, rather, with how relatively broken it was. And I say that, like, as a massive fan of the game. When I played the game as a kid, I mean, as, like, an actual child with ADHD, I couldn't pay attention to anything, but I could sit there and play Harvest Moon for, like, 8 hours straight and be happy. And on my first file ever in that game, I played for 16 in-game years. After 16 in-game years, I encountered a rare glitch in which a hurricane destroyed my greenhouse, and it would not allow me to rebuild it. There was no dialogue option to rebuild it. So I was so sad that I started a whole new file and I played another 6 years. Like 6 in-game years. But that's still, like, in my opinion, that's a long time for a kid that normally can't pay attention to things to play a game. I need a blueberry last, okay. Pumpkin... An animal bundle, I don't really have anything for it. I really need to start going to the traveling merchant to try and buy the animal products. I don't really plan to get animals at all. Or at least not until the very end. Till very late in my playthrough. When I can just afford the auto-petter and stuff. Oh, this is so nice. I didn't think that this, foliage redone was gonna have all of this. The one thing that I wish I would have gotten, I wish I would have gotten the overgrown UI in, like, pastel color. I think that would look really nice. I've got 2 empty blocks. Go for these. Berry, darn, why didn't I go with gooseberry? Kiwi seeds, it's just gonna take so long. Don't go in fall. I think I do want to start some roses. They'll be able to get roses all through fall. 28 of these. That should be fine. I need to start carrying around amethyst. I need to go buy some more beer for Shane. There is a mod that makes Shane not relapse when you marry him. You know, like normally when you date Shane in this game, he decides to quit drinking. And when you marry him and he shows up in your, you know, in your house, he lives with you, he just goes right back to it and like leaves beer cans everywhere and stuff. There was a mod that makes him stay off the sauce, you know? But it didn't seem like anybody was able to confirm if it worked with the latest update or not, which is unfortunate. I don't really remember. Is there really any penalty for dating the whole town? Can they catch you? I've never really done much with the townies in Stardew. I've only unlocked the blue chickens through Shane because I wanted blue chickens. And that's the only reason why I'm really befriending him now. Flowers going on there. Hopefully I get a lot of batteries from this storm. Alright. Bunch of flowers. That grass is so pretty. I know there's a setting in it as well, like, you can make it so that the animals can get full from the grass, but it doesn't disappear. That way you can just use it as a decoration. I need to go to Robin's as well and look at how much it would cost to upgrade that shed. I think upgrading it gives it quite a bit more space inside. And it wouldn't hurt to get a horse, too. Do I have 100 hardwood? I do. I have 100 hardwood. And I think it takes iron bars or something. I'll just grab everything that I own. Hello, boy. I wish there was a mod to replace the skeleton with papyrus. I know that's so dumb, but I kind of do wish that. I had to go through so much to get a copy of Foliage redone. Apparently there was some dispute because one or more of the assets was edited from a base sprite that came on an RPG Maker sprite sheet. And rather than deal with the complaints, the creator was just like, well, I don't really have time to deal with this, so I'm just going to take the mod down. Big shed. Okay, it needs... Oh, I actually would have enough for the big shed. And I have enough for the horse, too, but not both. Almost both. I can get the stable... I can pay for the stable today, and when she's done with that, I can come get the big shed. Question: where am I gonna put this? You could just block your shipping bin. That would stink. Oh, you can place it on paths. Although that would look really bad. Wonder. Go back there. It's gonna take up space that I could be using for trees. That's what upsets me. Maybe here's a good spot. I think here's a pretty good spot. I can always move it if I don't like it. Up here. I mean, it's kind of out of the way up here, I feel like. There's a path that I go along all the time, though, to collect this stuff. Start working on it tomorrow morning. Take her a day or something, right? I definitely am gonna need to get the desaturated version of the grass mod. Oh hey, it's Abigail playing flute in the rain. Tree of Tranquility music. The stinky thing about the mod getting removed is, you know, it's my understanding, and I may have an incomplete understanding of the situation. It's not even a straight rip, it's just that it was, you know, edited based off of stuff that they found on a sprite sheet, and that years later, after they'd used it, the permissions, like, you know, the CC permissions, were changed so that permission was only given to use it in things made in RPG. Which I understand. Stardew is just such a chill game. I'll let them have their pretty trees. The clothing mod I installed, only some, like, only the tops are working. I'm not sure why. Maybe because I was supposed to install Get Glam as well. Ooh, diamonds. Friday night, it's Taco Tuesday. I mean, it is Friday night, but how can it be Friday night and Taco Tuesday? I did have a taco yesterday, though. Taco Thursday yesterday. But hey, Nyonyo. How you doing today? All the New Year's Eve music. Harvest Moon 64, this actually is giving me, like, chills. Have your noodles, time to see if you die. I hope you do not die. You love tacos, you're doing fine. Hey, I'm glad you're doing fine. And, I think everybody should love tacos. I'm doing great. I'm awake early, for some reason. And I felt really energetic, so I decided before I get super tired, I'll get some Stardew Valley cranked out. I've been looking up some things I wanted to add to my game, and it's kind of like, I feel like my playthrough is going to evolve as I decide what I want to do with it. Was a mistake? Oh no, the ghost pepper noodles, oh, they really hurt, huh? Yeah, ghost pepper is bad. Please send milk. I can't send mommy's milk, I'm sorry. And even if I could, you'd have a spicy mouth, so, I don't really think it's gonna help. Milk only gives you temporary relief. You need to watch the food theory episode on beating spicy foods. They did test milk. I think they said milkshake is actually best, though. Or, like, best or second best, I can't remember. Burger King here in the States has ghost pepper chicken nuggets. And let me tell you, they are tasty. It's just the smallest hint of ghost pepper, which is good because ghost pepper is so freaking potent. I know that it's just capsaicin. Why torment you with the idea of milkshakes? Just Uber Eats a milkshake and time warp until it's there. Do you have any ice cream? Do you have any yogurt? You gotta think outside the box. Oh, you just bought a new GPU? Oh, I see. I'm sorry. Does suck. Yeah, I saw when you'd mentioned that you were having computer problems. And I was like, oh no. Like, cause I felt bad when I was having my computer issues, but at least I was able to get it, like, you know, resolved without having to buy a new part. You burning up, you're on fire. Let's... Oh, the Friends of Mineral Town theme remix. I'd love to play that on stream. Friends of Mineral Town, for a season Friends of Mineral Town remake. So nice. I'll have to get it on Steam though. But I like Friends of Mineral Town because it's got the same waifu in it that I always liked in Harvest Moon 64. It's got potpourri. And I always liked potpourri because she's so cute. She's so happy and cute, and she's got pink hair. How nice. She works at the flower shop. Like, so nice. But I had always wished, you know, that you could date her brother Rick. And at the time, in Harvest Moon 64, you could not. But I think, in Friends of Mineral Town, I think that you maybe can? And that hope, that's what keeps me going. Hope that someday I will get to date a virtual character's brother. I mean, come on. I'll be back soon. Yeah, running to get ice cream. Like, you know, put your mouth under the faucet. Whatever you do, do not drink alcohol. Makes it worse. Why did that path come up? Suppose I'll just... Oh, it's from there. Feel pretty well set up for fall. I don't know why I haven't been drinking the coffee. Like I've set up the stuff to make it and I'm just hoarding it. I'm not using it, I'm not selling it, nothing. Any more? Yep, jelly. Oh hey, so I guess it actually is using the hops, since I switched the order of it. And it's Wednesday, so Pierre is not open. I have to sell things through the shipping bin. Robin, finish my horse. Please. Do I have enough wood? Oh, I don't. I don't have enough wood. Alright, I'm gonna have to spend today getting some fat stacks of wood, just in case I run out of energy. Let me grab some fish. I definitely want to get a mod that replaces the horse. Probably one that replaces it with like a pretty unicorn or something, because, you know, why not? I'm so hyped for the release of Rune Factory 5 next year. Sad that it got pushed back, but I'm glad that it's coming out, and I'm glad that I'm gonna get to play it. I'm a really big Rune Factory fan. I know that the general consensus seems to be that 5 is not the best. But to be honest, it would be hard to top 4. It would have even been hard to top the last major console games on the Wii. Because Rune Factory Frontier was so good. It was so good. That's definitely something I'll do on stream. I know it runs very well. It is a slower paced game, but so is Stardew. Sorry about that. It was just muting so I could cough. Let's see. I require all of the wood. Just casual deforestation. It's okay. It'll grow back in 3 days. Or something like that. It might take a week. I'm not sure. Ah, stream stickers bot. Always there for me. You can pick up persimmons as forage, but you can also get a persimmon tree, because I've got the PPJA Project Populate Jason attribute pack, I think. Something like that. And it just adds a bunch of new crops and machines and recipes, so on and so forth to the game. I really love it. There's so much tree variety now. I mean, there already were a decent amount of trees in the game, don't get me wrong, there's a decent amount of trees. But more is always better. I like having a lot of options in farming games. When Harvest Moon and Story of Seasons split, Natsume kept making Harvest Moon games. Their latest one, I think it's One World or Light of Hope or something, I've heard some pretty negative things about it. And to be honest, I've heard negative things about all of the games that Natsume has published since, like losing the dev team that did the games originally. All they have is like the intellectual property rights to characters, the towns, and so on. But those were never the memorable parts of Harvest Moon games. I mean, like, can I tell you the name of the town in Harvest Moon 64, even though I played hundreds of hours of it? No, I can't. I don't remember what the town was called. I'm pretty sure the mayor's name was just Mayor, to be honest. But he had a banana, 2 mandarins, and a liter of milk. It helped. Gosh. Well, hey, at least you're gonna get your calcium for the day. But the one thing that I can say for Natsume, the one thing that I can say for them, they had some really, really innovative ideas in their last couple 3DS titles. The gameplay was not good, I'll be honest. The gameplay was not good. But there were so many mutations for every individual crop, and how you would unlock different kinds of crops rather than just waiting for time to pass. I mean, of course, you would get seasonal crops from the merchant depending on the season. But rather than waiting for time to pass, what you would do is you plant the crops in different conditions, you know, different soil, different elevation, close to the river, or if it's really far away, if it's really down, like if you've dug really deep to where there's barely any dirt, then it had, like, there's so many things that could affect it, and there's so many ways you could just alter the crops. And there was at least like 2 or 3 variations for each individual kind of crop you could grow. And I found that really interesting. That, to me, was fun. The game itself, the characters, I don't care at all. Like, to be fully honest, like, I just used some cheats to get affection with the characters so that I could unlock the story enough to give me access to all of the tools that let me change, like, terraform the land. So that way I could more effectively, you know, work with the crops and try to get the mutations I was after. And even though the farming in that game was so much more, well, so much less fun, I should say. It was more of a chore. Because, you know, you had this huge Minecraft-ish chunk to work on for your farm. You could mine blocks, you could, you know, build blocks up. When you start out, you can't affect any blocks that are anything but dirt, so you can't take care of stone, you know, you can't move the water, so you have to just deal with whatever, you just have to deal with whatever arrangement you get. And I think it's the same. I don't think it's a randomized seed. I think it's the same for every game. I could be wrong. I've only played the game once, and I sure as hell don't feel like starting another save file and going through, like, 90 minutes of the beginning to figure out if it's the same map or not. But it was so much more of a chore, because you had to run all the way across this huge chunk. You had to make, you know, stairways that you could climb. It was, in the farming aspect, closer to Minecraft. But that was fun. No, like, almost none of the rest of the game was fun. But that part was fun. So as much as Natsume has really done Harvest Moon dirty, it's not like they don't have good ideas. They just lack the skill and knowledge needed to execute. Which is what the Story of Seasons team has. Because they were the ones that have been doing it. But they have really good ideas. Even in the games that get negative reviews, like One World. I've seen a lot of bad things about One World. It's true. Like, the game is not very fun. I don't think anybody is going to argue the point and try to be like, no, this game is fun. You just don't understand it. It's not very fun. But it does have, like, just like the other ones, it does have good ideas. And it does kind of reuse or rehash a lot of the same character designs from those games as well. My personal opinion is maybe, just maybe, if we all believe in them, like Tinkerbell or something, if we have to believe, we have to have faith, maybe Natsume will get better. Maybe they will find their own groove. But it really is hard to say. I'll keep the fish in there. I always should carry something for energy anyways. And I usually don't. Maybe they'll actually be able to refine their good ideas into something workable that most people want to play, that they enjoy playing. Because in Harvest Moon One World, the shtick is, there is one world and you can explore it however you want. You just pick up your house and your crafting stuff and carry it around. It's like you can walk to some place that you like, that grows a certain kind of crop, deploy your house, and then when you get bored of that area, you can just, like, march your happy butt somewhere else and plop your house down there. That's kind of the main gimmick. And that's not a bad gimmick! It's not a bad gimmick. But what makes it bad is that the world is so linear, the world is so small, it's like there's really not any exploring to do. There is a path that is sculpted into the land, and you can't leave the path. It holds your hand a lot through the intro. Takes a long time to get through. Explains concepts extremely slow. And it makes me wonder, what kind of demographics data does Natsume have that's how they build their game? Because, by and large, the people that I usually see playing Harvest Moon type games are not kids. It may have been true, you know, back in the N64 days. Even up to the DS. But I feel like all of the people into farming games have now grown up. It has been a long time since I've seen an actual living, breathing child that was into farming games. I'm not saying they don't exist. I'm just saying, I wonder if the appeal to children is really so potent that Natsume should be building their games as if children are the only people who play them. Grover. Let's name the horse. What are we naming the horse? We're not naming him Grover. Who should I ride around on all the time? I mean, I guess I should ride on Starlight to the end. Will people, yeah, people can see the name of my horse. I mean, he's already doxed himself. There you go. Oh yeah. Okay, the controller rumble is not my favorite. I know you can turn it off. It's just so weird. Like, I'm used to the rumbling the controller being used for, like, FPS games. And I've got a very, like, an old Xbox 360 controller. So, when it does, like, a little tiny bit of rumble, it, you know, it spins the vibration... Oh gosh, aerobics day, huh? It spins the vibration motor, but because it's only giving it, like, it's only telling it, like, oh yeah, spin for, like, a fraction of a second. And it's so old and cruddy that, like, when, it doesn't feel like vibrating anymore. It just feels like you can feel the weight of the motor moving around inside of it, because it's moving so slow and so little, and it's such an old motor. I've been using this controller for years. Ooh, the hooves made clippity claps. Like, you can't go in the mine? If you leave your horse somewhere, does it pop back to its stable? I sure freaking hope so. I shouldn't have even ridden the horse over here. There's a minecart. I just wanted to ride the horse. I'm glad you helped tame down the spice a little bit. Ghost pepper is... it's something. It may just be regular capsaicin, but it's potent. I need to kill more slimes. I wonder if the cat ears are dyeable. Oh yeah, and I was supposed to get, I'm not sure, I think I have Customize Anywhere, but I do need to get Glam, because that will allow me to have a lot more outfits to actually work with my character. I think I finally fixed Nightbot. I'm pretty happy about that. I'm gonna try to set up Cloudbot as well, primarily because I want the ability to do gambling and polls in chat simply and easily. I checked my raid alerts too. I checked my raid alerts, I tested them out. The test alerts all work just fine. I have no idea why I don't get alerts when people raid me. It makes me really sad though. Like, I see it in the activity monitor, I see people pop in chat, but it doesn't put an alert, and that makes me feel so bad because, you know, when people raid you, they want to see an alert. I mean, at least I like seeing the alert when I raid people. I like seeing what their alert is. And I know my alert is, like, literally the default alert. I haven't gotten anything special for it yet, but I still wish it triggered. By the way, I remembered. I said that I couldn't tell you the name of the village in Harvest Moon 64. But it's Flowerbud Village. You can see how that's a very, you know, it's never been the setting, and I mean, the setting is peaceful and everything, but it's not like Harvest Moon has ever been very big think, you know, very super original. if you want like originality in a farming game, I feel like Rune Factory or even Stardew is the way to go. Stardew has a lot of its own personality and character now that it's been out for a while. There's been quite a bit added to it, and you can make it your own with mods. Let me eat, get some health. I'm not really low on energy, but I think this will give me health too. Yeah, a bit. And the interesting thing is that the Story of Seasons team, after getting away from Natsume, now they have the freedom to try stuff that they maybe couldn't before. Like, they have put in an effort to be more original. The major problem, in my personal opinion, with Story of Seasons, the most recent title, Pioneers of Olive Town. You know, once again, kind of same thing. Drab name, kind of uninspiring, not memorable. It feels like they were trying to make something that was appealing to people's nostalgia, because the DLC, the major selling point of the DLC, it wasn't new crops or anything. It was like bringing back characters from the older games. But those characters, it doesn't add them to your town or anything. It puts them in a place that you have to go on a boat to, and you have to travel way out of your way to see those characters. So if you actually, like, there are marriage candidates, and if you actually wanted to marry those characters, spend so much time of every single day in your game for probably a whole year, so like 80 or 90 in-game days, having to go travel to an island to go see someone. It's like, it's not the quick travel that you get just from talking to the Harvest Sprite by your house. You have to specifically go over to the boat. I just think it's not cool. They kind of tried to make a greatest hits-ish thing, in my opinion. And I played Olive Town. I still do play Olive Town. But I feel like they don't know, like, maybe they didn't realize what it is that the gameplay loop that keeps people coming back to their game. I feel like they tried to, in Pioneers of Olive Town, they tried to, as weird as it is, copy things that Stardew Valley did. So rather than having crafting set up the way they had been handling it, where, like, spices, grinders, stuff like that would be in a spice cabin, casks and juicers would be in a wine cabin, cheese presses and yogurt jars would be in a cheese barn. And that's how they were handling crafting, like refinement of your basic farmed goods. Instead, they tried to emulate the, you know, just put makers everywhere model of Stardew. But since Olive Town is on the Switch, it's basically like, I know that it has improved a lot. It has improved a lot. But the performance on the game is really bad, and the limitations of how many things you can place down at once are kind of bad too. I mean, you know, you're gonna have people who have mega farms trying to get millions of gold, because you do need that much for some stuff. And although they've improved crafting, like I said, you're gonna say that somebody who's, you know, mega farming can only place down 20 makers across their entire farm? Like, there's no way anybody's gonna be satisfied with that. I probably have more than 20 item processors. More than 20 item processors, like, on my farm as it is. And then for chests, it's only like 10, but the limit is per kind of chest. So you can have 10 wooden chests, 10 stone chests, 10 metal chests. And I think the last one is like treasure box or something. It's really hard to craft. You can have 10 of each of them. But I don't like it because then it's like it's forcing you to not have a cohesive style throughout your farm. They're missing what makes the game good. They're like, oh, let's appeal to our character design. But the character design isn't the strong point. It hasn't been for a while. The characters in Harvest Moon have always been pleasant enough. You know, pleasant enough that you'd want to interact with them, but not especially compelling. At least in my opinion. Like, oh hey, Sachiko! How are you doing today? Thanks for stopping by. But yeah, like, as much as I love Potpourri from Harvest Moon 64, and I do mean it, I played through that game multiple times, and I married Potpourri every time. Been great. Oh, glad to hear it. I'm doing really good too. I'm kind of sleepy because it's a little bit earlier than I normally wake up, but I had some energy, so I figured I'd stream. But yeah, Potpourri. I love the character of Potpourri. I had my character marry her every time I played the game, but I wouldn't say she was an especially compelling character. The most compelling character I feel from Harvest Moon 64 was Karen, because it was a character that you had to befriend, or else they would leave your town. And it was a big shock for me as a kid. Like, what? They can just leave if they don't like how things are going? I started getting concerned that, like, video game characters could just up and walk away. You know, because I was really young. You know, the whole concept of this was programmed to be this way wasn't entirely set in upon my mind yet. Animal Crossing major update incoming? Yeah, I've heard they're adding Brewster. I don't know what else they're adding. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Animal Crossing is a game, too, that I feel like being able to... going to add further majors as paid DLC. Ah, I see. Aw, that's a bit sad. But yeah, like, Animal Crossing, I think that's a game where people really enjoy customizing their town and the way that they interact with it. And in Pioneers of Olive Town, the latest Story of Seasons title, it was so weird to lose that ability. I haven't played it in like 6 months. Hasn't been quite that long for me, but that's mostly because I just got it this summer. Oh, besides your mom helping you with your island? Yeah. The last thing I was doing was, flower breeding. Flower breeding in Animal Crossing kept me busy for quite some time. But after, you know, getting enough flowers, more focused on PS5. Oh yeah, I'm not like a big enough gamer to have a PS5. Even in the Story of Seasons 3DS games, you could edit the towns, you could edit your farm, you could edit the layout of so much. And then comes Pioneers of Olive Town, where you can edit the layout of your farm. But all of the upgrades that you do to the town make little or no cosmetic difference at all. It just feels like such a step backwards. The characters aren't strong. Like, even though they have updated the game at least once to add more dialogue. You got one 3 days ago? Ooh. Congratulations. I don't even know what's out on PS5. Yeah, the characters aren't especially compelling in Story of Seasons. You can't edit the town. And the characters were never compelling, but at least there was enough else to keep you into the game. They were, like I said, pleasant enough to interact with. Pioneers of Olive Town lost all of that. Only got it for the PS5 free upgrades. A meme game, platinum trophies. Meme games? What kind of meme games? Oh, I need to watch Squid Game today. I tried to watch it, but I tried to watch it dubbed because my hubby won't read subs. And the dub is not my favorite thing. So I'm gonna have to watch it. I'm gonna have to watch it by myself, subbed. Stupidly bad easy games that spoon feed you trophies without trying. Oh yeah, I'm trying to get that big gamer score. Is there even gamer score on PlayStation? Gotta get those gamer points. There's a trophy level. Oh, I see. If that counts. Then kind of. Hey, Mama M. Nice to see you stop in. How are you doing today? I need to remember to take one of these blueberries to the community center. I can't wait until I get a coffee maker. I don't think you can craft it. I think you have to get it as a gift from somebody. You should play about your TV and PS5 settings. Oh yeah, you're not... Yeah, I don't blame you. 1080p is fine for me too. And I'm somebody that, like, I've had exposure to higher resolutions. My phone and my tablet both have higher resolutions. But those are things that I'm using close to my face. You know, I sit like 6 feet to 10 feet away from my TV. I don't see why that needs to be 4K. Doing good waiting for them to finish school. I see. What time would it be there? I mean, like, finishing school, that's usually like 2 or 3. It's not even 10 o'clock here yet. Time zones are so weird. My friends PS4 and 4K. Brighter colors. Yeah. I mean, I've seen some of the graphical improvements. Like, I've seen a bunch of comparisons of, like, here's what Horizon Zero Dawn originally looked like. And here's what it looks like now. And those are really impressive. And simulate 4K by playing with your TV settings. Yeah, a lot of TVs have a built-in, like, upscaler or something to smooth things out. Pop the hops in there. It's just... like, I know why it is. The reason why Story of Seasons Pioneers of Olive Town was not as good is because the designer that everybody knows and loves, Yoshifumi Hashimoto, was busy working on Rune Factory 5. But the problem is, I think Xseed and Rune Factory stretched themselves... Not Rune Factory. Xseed and Marvelous stretched themselves too thin. Because both Pioneers of Olive Town and Rune Factory 5 suffered from some of the same issues of having, like, you know, kind of shallow characters, not as much customization as previous ones. Stuff like that. That picture mode is better looking than game mode. Probably better looking. Game mode is usually faster refresh rate so that you get, you know, less input lag. Because if you're a pro gamer, then you can notice, like, milliseconds input lag. Oh, hey, Starlight! I love you! Let me go get my wood and stuff, and then I'll go to Robin's and get that shed upgraded. You don't get input lag anyway. Yeah, I understand. A lot of games, even if you did, you wouldn't really notice it. Like Stardew, am I gonna notice input lag? No. I'm like, oh man, I didn't get a frame-perfect animation cancel, which is a thing in Stardew, by the way. If you press the button with a certain timing, you can, like, animation cancel the chopping and such. What was I doing? Oh yeah, getting wood. Was it just wood and stone? I think. Suppose I'll have enough time to run back if not. I stop at Pierre's on the way too. Get back to it. Okay. I'll see you when you get home. Just a few more hours. Stuff can be incorporated into a healthy diet. Yeah, you think? Peppers. Okay. We're starting to get fat paid. Leave most of your console settings on auto, turn off motion blur, performance mode. Yeah. I mostly play on PC. The only console that I really play anymore, I play Switch and I play my 3DS quite a bit. I'm still playing the original Story of Seasons 3DS. There's still a lot of stuff in that game that I haven't done. There was an entire gimmick in that game that hasn't been replicated in any of the other games. And I understand why. Because it was a pain in the ass. But you could cheese it. If you knew how. One second, I'm fading out of existence. Let me just become corporeal again. I'll poof for 1 second. There we go. TV, put standard picture, brightness and color. So much better than game mode. It probably does, especially if you have like a decent TV with really good settings. My TV is very old. Big shed. One thing that I'm also looking forward to doing on stream, I really want to, when I start getting into like Minecraft multiplayer server, because I know I'm going to set that up probably like November, December. I'm going to really put some effort into getting that set up. 2015, so it's latest 1080p. Yeah. Upgrade that shed. Only thing you put in game mode is the sound. I see. I really, there was a sound bar that came with my TV, but my family lost it, and I'm kind of sad, because I could really, like, I could use a sound bar. Do Minecraft multiplayer, let you know? Oh yeah, I'll let everybody know. It's gonna be modded Minecraft multiplayer, though. The multiplayer server that I'm going to do is the mod pack called Dungeons, Dragons, and Space Shuttles. It has a lot in it. And I primarily spend my time doing, guess what? Farming. But it does have a lot in it, besides just farming. You can literally go in space to other planets. Didn't bother you to begin with, barely noticed. It looked weird on PS5, so you found different settings. Yeah. Oh, when I get a capture card, I'm gonna play some Viva Pinata on stream for you guys. It's gonna be really strange because I'm gonna have to use Starlight's Xbox to do it, and it'll be like on his account. But definitely play some Viva Pinata for everybody. And that is actually a kid game, but I still like it. I like it because I played it when I was a kid. Combo of contrast on max and sharpness on lowest is so good. I feel like I can't really adjust the settings on my TV that much because there's a problem with the backlight. So the backlight has to be on max all of the time, or else there's a really, really visible dark spot on the screen where the backlight has slightly separated from the LCD layer. And it's a very upsetting dark spot. One moment. Lurk? Oh, thanks! Thanks, Vicky! One second, I'm gonna turn my avatar off for 1 second so I can use my phone. Astro's Playroom is a very cute game. I've not heard of that. I'll have to look it up. Alright. There we go. PS5 exclusive that acts as a tech demo inside of a game. Oh, I see. That's probably why. I don't have any kind of... I don't have a PlayStation at all. I think Starlight might have a PS3 somewhere. But that's about it. Maybe someday I can get a PS4 when they get a little bit cheaper, because the PS5 will be more widespread at some point. The weirdest thing that surprised you more than it should? What? Like with the PS5? I really need more defense. Like, what's really weird to me is, like, in order to get more defense, you know, PS5s and PS4s could share play, which acts as couch co-op thing, but remotely, yeah? Like, you need to get further in the mines. You need to go to Skull Cavern to get more armor, because you need to get better rings, better drops. You need to unlock Ginger Island and be able to, Oh, those slimes were just breeding. I should have left them there. I'm definitely going to get a sprite replacement for the Slime Hutch. I do plan to Slime Ranch, but the Slime Hutch is not stylish. That's a PS5 only game, and share play with your friend who has a PS4. You could play it on his PS4 in the share play. Oh, maybe because it's streaming from your PS5. There is one thing that I remember about Harvest Moon 64. And I can't remember if it was just for Potpourri or if it was for everybody, like the whole town. It was a surprise because it's a PS5 exclusive game. See, I'm not sure if it's the PS4 handling it, though. Like, what I'm saying is I think it might be streaming the gameplay from your PS5. Like, your PS5 is rendering it, it's just streaming it to the PS4. Because can't you also stream gameplay from PlayStation, like, just on mobile devices? And it runs on your PlayStation? Oh boy. That was close. Let's check what the dwarf has. Life elixir. Oh yeah, I can buy that rare crow. Oh, you didn't expect to remote control your PS5? Yeah, I get what you're saying. I really am looking forward to getting a capture card, though. It'll reduce the strain on my PC a lot. You knew they could watch, but you didn't expect the playing part? Yeah. Pop all this stuff where it goes. Yeah, I have a really, really good idea for my evening stream. As soon as I'm done with this, I'm gonna test it out. I'm gonna see how it goes. I am so excited. I think people are gonna love it. I mean, probably, like, let's be real, probably nobody will watch it, but I think people that do watch it will love it. Oh, real quick, while I'm in this menu, let me go look at the recipes. Okay. The still is what I need to make gin. 5 iron bars and 10 copper bars. Sent in mail. All 1 year, 3 year later, farming level 10. Ads, yeah, I'm sorry. I should have done. I think I did put in a pre-roll ad though. That's the strange thing. So year 3. Man, I better keep on trekking then. Pop that rare crow somewhere. You know, like, but even if I turned all the ads off, like, there would still be ads. Like, Bezos gotta get his money. He needs to go to space more. He needs to take more of his friends into space. And they can stay in space. They should make a little space apartment. They should live out there. Don't let their memes be dreams. Watch the ads so that Jeff Bezos can go to space. I mean, he already did. But he'll probably make a weekly thing of it now. He'll just be like, massively flexing on people. Be like, hey guys, you want to go have lunch in space? Tomatoes. So just so everybody knows, I normally don't stream this early. Yay, it's back. I'm sorry about the ads. Yeah, we all gotta watch ads so that Bezos can go to space again. Raspberries. I love raspberries. I mean, like, IRL and as the crop. Need Tesla Man to take over Amazon, and he goes to space. I'm pretty sure the Muskie Boy is gonna go to space at some point. Because, you see, the truth is that the Muskie Boy is an alien. One day he's just gonna be like, he's gonna pull a Cartman. He's gonna be like, screw you guys, I'm going home. And then he's gonna go to space. And then the aliens are finally going to contact Earth, and they're going to be like, my god, we thought we were rid of him. Like, it turns out Elon Musk is like the Zim of some alien race. Like, they've been trying to lose this dude for ages. Once I'm fading into nothing again. There we go. Alright, I'm gonna save these flowers because I want to dehydrate them. Any of these, I think? None of these. Unlimited raspberries. So since I now know that I have to process the juniper berries in something else, I will take them and just save them. Elon Musk wants to go back to Mars because that's where his family is. Maybe, you know what, maybe that's it. We've been to Mars, we've been looking for life. But life, it's like when you have an annoying friend that you kinda don't really want to hang out with. So, so you know, they come over and they look in your, like, they walk into your house and they're like, hey, buddy, are you home? Hey. But you just, like, stay quiet because you don't want them to know. That's why the Martians, that's why you haven't found Martians yet, because they're hiding from us. They're like, yeah, hey, we don't want that musky boy back. You can keep him. Part of me wants to apologize for ripping on Musk, but, like, he has enough money, he can afford the therapy for being ripped on by a VTuber. Elon Musk just, like, actually nuclear strikes me from orbit, like, haha, I got enough money for that, too. Speaking of friends, you're meeting your friend tomorrow you haven't seen for 6 years. Moving closer to your area, but you talked online lots. Oh, nice! You guys got plans? Gonna game together? Or just go, like, grab some food? I should definitely, like, I'm gonna go to the mine again today. His house ain't quite ready yet. I'm gonna go to the mall and shop and hang out. Okay, that's nice. I haven't been to the mall in so long. I haven't even seen a mall where I live now. There must be one here. But I recently moved across the country. Officially moves in a week, but he's prepping stuff. Very nice. Moving can be stressful, but I hope everything works out. 2 open blocks. Go for some more flowers. Alright, I can do that. Days, nope. 7 days. Both of these? I'll take that then. Yeah, I'm from US. I can plant this before I go to bed. In the US, I moved from the UK, but East Asian and Canadian. Oh, okay. I just moved from the Midwest US to, like, the West Coast. Kind of. But the thing is, I moved from a city that had, you know, over 300,000 people in it to a little baby city with, like, 20,000 people in it, if that. So, I haven't seen a mall here. Might have to go in town for that, like, into a different town that is larger. Oh boy. Maybe I should start buying some of that health elixir stuff. Do I not have level 10? Yeah, I only have level 8 combat. That's pretty amazing to me, but okay. I like how level 10 farming gives you watering can efficiency, but watering plants does not get you farming experience. You don't know the languages because you're adopted. I mean, that's fine. I mean, there's a lot of people who are, you know, born and raised with English that barely speak it coherently, so can't blame you for not being bilingual. I'm not. Family are Canadian? So, like, do they take you out, like, okay. I just want to say, I don't mean to be, like, stereotyping Canadians, if this is stereotyping Canadians, but I have heard that it is the truth that Canadians go out for poutine with some regularity. Is that true? I would like a report from, you know, on the ground in Canada. How do you feel about poutine? Is it true that the milk comes in bags? You have no idea what any of that meant? Okay, so poutine is, like, it's supposed to be a Canadian thing. Maybe it's just a certain province in Canada, though. It's French fries. Or, chips, I guess, because UK. Covered in gravy and cheese curds. And I've heard it's a big Canadian thing. I mean, UK people like fries too. Oh, right, yeah, in Quebec, yeah. Mushroom level! Yeah, I'm so excited for the new evening. You had to Google that because your mind was like, what? I'm sorry. But yeah, it's something that I've always heard of, and I wanted to, you know, I wanted to know. I mean, if your parents are Canadian, like I figured, oh man, I bet they have poutine. Oh boy. Why these animals always gotta be this way? Alright, we'll leave the mine for now. Head on back. The only other thing that I've really heard about Canada... I've been to Canada once. It's gonna be fun when your friend finds out you've not grown at all. Oh, like you're the same height? No, you gotta fool them and put like some extra platform height on your shoes. Make them think you're real tall. You're small too? Oh, I see. How small is small? Like 5'2"? Under 5 feet? Ah, I see. But that just means you're extra cute. Everybody knows that small things are cute. Like, if you get like a can of soda and it's a little baby can of soda, cute. And another plus, you don't have to worry about getting struck by lightning in a storm. I mean, as long as you're not the only person out in a completely flat field, I guess. Everyone says it's cute. I used to have a complex of it. Because people made fun of you for being small. People make fun of other people for literally everything. It's a real stinky thing to do. Nobody likes a bully. Bullies don't even like themselves. I used to think, you know, when I was a kid, I used to think it was bullshit. The whole, like, people only do unhealthy behaviors because they're lashing out, they're unhappy about something. You know, something that's going on for them. But growing up a little bit has made me realize that, yeah, sometimes that really is the case. Sometimes you're just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Or you're an easy target. Now you don't care except if you're with family, you get mistaken for a child. Now, I gotta say, on one hand, that is annoying. On the other hand, in US, it always costs less for kids to eat at buffets. So, you could be enterprising and use it as a money-saving strategy. Like, oh yeah, I'm 12. You can charge me only $10 for the buffet admission. I'll only eat as much as a little tiny child. And then, like, go in there and just, like, pile up your plate. Like, get you some chicken wings. Go ham on them. I'm sorry if you don't like chicken wings. Before you got a bus pass, you used to get away with getting a child ticket. Ooh, nice. I bet you saved a few bucks that way. Buses in England really confused me. I've been to England a couple times to visit my dad. He moved over there. An American that moves back to England, is there anything worse? I mean, come on, like, as an American, you know, we're all supposed to be like, ah, freedom from the, you know, the British. And then my dad's like, yeah, I'm gonna move back, though. And not that I particularly care. England is nice. It's nice, and it's really different. It's like... I won't say it's like a whole other world, but it is extremely different. Everything in the States is so spread out, and everything in England is so close together. It's so compact. Like, you know, you can... Wanna know the best part? Oh yeah, what's the best part? Need truffle oil, don't ask why. Lewis, I don't trust you. I think you're gonna take this oil over to Marnie's house, and I'm not down with that. Yeah, things are so compact in England. Like, the bus system really confused me quite a bit. Public transit is pretty much non-existent most cities here in the States. There might be some cities like New York, LA, and stuff that actually have working public transit, but a lot of places don't. What a bar. You know it's 8 p.m., right? Oh, they're trying to tell you you were out past curfew. My goodness. You showed them ID and they apologized. Yeah, I bet. I bet they felt really bad. I mean, that's like as bad as when you ask, like, you walk up to somebody and you're like, hey, when are you expecting? And they're like, I'm not pregnant. Like, that's on that level of embarrassment. Yeah, it's awkward for both of you at that point. But the area that I was in England, I stayed with my dad in Leeds, and I flew into Manchester. And it's kind of mind-blowing as an American. Like, as an American, you go from one area to another, you expect it to take, like, hours. Because here, like, in America, we'll drive 3 or 4 hours for a day trip, and drive 3 or 4 hours back on the same day. Like, nobody here bothers with trains and stuff. Trains do exist here, but they're a little bit more luxury. Found it funny, but the part that hits the best is, did they not see you drinking whiskey? Maybe they did, but they thought your parents gave it to you or something. Like, you know, if they were thinking you were a kid. There are some states, well, I mean, I'm sure it's different over there, too, but there are some places where, minors are allowed to drink with parental permission and supervision. And I think the drinking age is a bit lower in UK as well. Isn't it, 16 or 19? I can't quite remember. 18 plus? Ah, I see. Yeah, the first time I visited, I was just 19, and my dad took me to a pub and we had a beer. And to be honest, not the biggest fan of beer. It's really bitter. Now, if I am gonna have something along those lines, though, I prefer like a hard cider. That's pretty good. And I think the official age, like, not brought about beer for like cider, whiskey, or rum. Yeah, I've got some rum right in the other room, and it's pretty good. It's pretty good, to be honest. I've never had that particular brand before. I bet alcohol brands are completely different, like in UK and US. It seems to me like alcohol would be something difficult or expensive to transport and import and export. I know it happens. You know, I've seen the duty-free stores. But I've also seen people buying stuff from duty-free stores and then like, do I like root beer because this is beer called Not Your Father's Root Beer that's really good? I like root beer. It's not my favorite. But I do like it, especially like root beer float. Amazing. My hubby works at A&W. So, although I haven't really been using the privilege, like, you know, whenever I want, I can just kind of walk across the street and be like, hey honey, can you make me a root beer float? But yeah, you're 4'11". I see. I really think you should shock him. You should, like, get some, you know, get some quarter-inch plywood and just, like, glue some bits to your shoes. Make it look like you're real tall. Wear some big old honkin' goth platform boots. Like, look down on them. You show up and you're just wearing stilts. I mean, shit, if somebody showed up to meet me and they were wearing stilts, I'd be impressed. I can't walk on stilts. Had shoes that made you taller. Be 5'1". You can get some pretty substantial shoes. Well, I just want to say, I think it's great that, like, even though people used to give you trouble about it, you've learned to, like, love yourself and appreciate yourself, and that's great. Like, that's legitimately a good way to live your life. You should always appreciate yourself. Like, everybody's got their own little unique twists. And somebody that appreciates you as a person is going to know how to appreciate those unique features about you. So, you know, other people, when you find the right person, they're not gonna mind. Just worry about how you feel about yourself. And it sounds like you're doing pretty good, so that's awesome. Like, sometimes, you know, especially talking about bullying, it's something that when I was in school, I know it was a while ago, I'm so old, ancient. When I was in school, I dealt with that too, and it's something that really, it stinks. And it really can stay with you for a long time. So, anytime I hear that somebody has kind of bounced back from that, it makes me happy. Can't be ancient. I mean, I say I'm ancient, but, I'm just ancient compared to, like, the average person on Twitch. Or maybe not. Is Twitch mostly, like, late 20s, early 30s? Because that's the age range I would be in. Well, the range. I'm not gonna say the exact age. I feel like a lot of people on Twitch are like, most of Twitch is like 20, 30. Yeah, I suppose so. I have seen a lot of content creators who are in their, you know, 30s. And yet, even so, a lot of people watch him. Like, Vinny Vinesauce, I think he's in his 30s, and people watch him. Like, a lot of people watch him. Oh, Critical is in his, like, mid-20s. Haha, Shadow Person, you couldn't get me. Ooh! This Harvest Moon 64 Moon Mountain theme is the biggest YouTubers who stream like 30 to 35. I mean, I know that a lot of the big YouTubers, like, you know, PewDiePie and stuff, they're kind of getting up there because they've been on the platform for so freaking long. Oh yeah, I think I was talking about it for a second earlier, but I never finished my thought. One thing that was really memorable for me, I'm not sure if it was just a personal event for Potpourri or if it was an event you had to do for everybody in the village, like regardless of who you chose to marry in Harvest Moon 64. At a certain point, you'd be told that there was a special flower that, it was a blue magic flower, actually. Jack and Pewds are in their early 30s, yeah. And Jacksepticeye is awesome, though. So it was a blue magic flower. You'd have to plant it in a certain part of the mountain, and you'd have to visit every single day and water it. And if you missed even one day, it would instantly wilt. And it was kind of a pain in the butt, to be honest. Kind of a pain in the butt. But it was an event that you had to do. You had to get that flower, and you had to give it to Potpourri. And it was something that she was like, oh, this flower, like, I've never seen it bloom. I've only seen them bud, I've never seen them bloom. They've always wilted right before my eyes. And, you know, she really wants to see it. So for 15 days, you trek your butt out there, you water that flower, and when it blooms, you bring her out there, and you let her see it. And she's so happy. That was a memorable event for me, because I had to do work for it. It wasn't like RNG, or like, hey, get lucky and get this item as a drop and you can give it as a gift. Or, you know, just cook this recipe and it's a loved gift. It wasn't too easy. It wasn't too hard. It was just like, hey, if you want this outcome, you're gonna actually have to try a little bit. And that was pretty nice. That was memorable. It stuck with me for all that time. But yeah, the big guys, Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, and PewDiePie, I'm pretty sure they're all getting up there. But they've been on YouTube for 10 plus years. The crazy thing is, like, Critical's been on YouTube for almost 10 years as well, but he's only in his mid-20s, so his earliest content is from when he was an actual baby. I mean, a teenager, but, like, to the rest of the world's like a baby. So I'm gonna be testing out. It's a regular DS game. I've done a little bit of research. It seems like the compatibility should be fine with the DS emulator. There are going to be aspects of... Oh, yeet! You were watching Markiplier when you were like 13? Oh, welcome back, Mason. I used to watch PewDiePie a few years ago, but I kind of stopped watching him because I felt like he got a little, you know, sniffing his own farts, a little up his own ass, as you say. It was only 250k when you started watching? Wow, that's a long time ago. And although I will say there is some content where it seems authentic, after watching him for a long time, it just started to seem like it was all so inauthentic to me. And that's kind of when I stopped watching a lot of YouTubers and started moving over to Twitch for my main content. Because, like, you know, when you see a video on YouTube, sure, sometimes you see VODs. But when you see a video on YouTube, it can be, you know, edited, produced, refined. Whereas if you watch somebody on Twitch, you can directly interact with them in real time. They might have high production value, but it's not like they're going to be able to edit it and make themselves look amazing. You know, they might have lists of notes if they're doing a debate or something, but the average person isn't going to have a script for their every interaction. So, to me, it's more authentic. And I value that from, insert real-time interaction here. Yeah. I value that from entertainment nowadays. I've been so exposed, like, my whole life to reality TV and sitcoms and a bunch of crap. Just makes me think, like, okay, what if I actually, like, interacted with people for entertainment? That would be crazy, right? And I suppose it is out of character for me. I'm usually a pretty antisocial person. But it's kind of what humans are supposed to do, you know? We're social creatures. We're supposed to be interacting with each other. And even if it's over the internet, that's just the modern way it's done. Like, I definitely think if you took someone even from like 50 years ago and you told them, hey, what's your secret to always having interesting yarns? I don't. I don't. I just talk about games that I like. So usually during Stardew streams, I talk about like Harvest Moon and Story of Seasons series and the games in those that I've been playing. Earlier I was talking a little bit about Rune Factory 5 and how it's doesn't seem to be as good as Rune Factory 4, but I'm still hyped for it. Ooh, thanks for the follow, Sachiko. And sometimes I talk about like what's going on in my life, but I don't think I have particularly interesting yarns. I just try to keep talking. Hype, yeah, hype. I'm super excited. I found like the perfect theme appropriate for October game, and I've still got half of the month to play it, and I can keep playing it afterwards. It's an Animal Crossing-like game. But instead of Animal Crossing, you're a human going to a magic school to learn magic, and all of the other magic students are animals, demons, and possessed objects. And the plot revolves around solving mysteries to advance it, and learning spells. And I'm just so hyped to start that later. There have been updated versions of the game, but sadly this is the only one that was ever released outside of Japan. And as of right now, there is not a working translation patch for the 3DS version. However, I did check on it, and just a few months ago in July or August, the guy was posting updates. A lot of the text in that game is actually directly placed into the "just so you have a mommy's milk" sound alert. Missed opportunity, right? Big missed opportunity. You needed, because literally you could have played it and it would have said "need sucky sucky now, mommy," and you did, because you needed milk. Gosh, I lose track of what I was saying so easy. I'm so excited to start that game. It's gonna be amazing. A lot of the text is planted into like store signs and stuff. So you actually have to go in and edit the image file and then replace that in the sprite sheet. Got a Rocket League stream on your phone for drops. Got a drop so you can check what it is. Oh, okay, okay. I can go to Piers today. I think I probably have enough gold for another tool. Yeah, I do. Oh no, I'm out of coal. Alright, let me... Just grab a few hundred wood. I have a charcoal kiln over there. I'm gonna grab 209 because I also have a fish smoker. So I don't want it to use all of the wood. Alright, come on, horse. Let's go. Minecarts are faster than horse, but horse is cute. I'm definitely gonna get a mod too that replaces the horse. I think I'm gonna get the one that replaces it with like a rainbow unicorn. Like a unicorn with a rainbow mane. I think that would be real cute, real nice. I bundled my avatar up because it's so cold where I am. So cold lately. Getting below freezing every night. Freezing my milkers off. Upgrade my axe, flint. New Zealand's in summer. Yeah, nice and warm in there. Zed said he was melting yesterday. I haven't collected anything from the beach in a while. You got a nice tan going? Dude, my skin is blue. Are you joking with me right now? Are you trying to say a funny haha? I mean, I know it's just the default dialogue. Guy's making fun of my blue skin. I'm so happy that I finally fixed Nightbot. Aw, the tail flops. That's so cute. Even when it's like from the behind sprite view. Tail flop. Oh my god. Oh, this is the theme from the opening cutscene and the intro to Harvest Moon 64. And I remember, like, as a kid being so struck by this intro. I mean, I know that, like, Grandpa dying and you inheriting his farm is the shtick for a lot of farming games. But Harvest Moon 64, the game starts with a slow camera pan down across a crowd of people that live in Flowerbud Town. And they're all there to attend your grandpa's funeral. And it shows them mourning, and it shows you talking to all of them and them expressing how sorry they are for your loss. Yeah. Yeah. The Grandpa and Harvest Moon games, not long for this world. Always ends up bad for them. But that's just, it's such memories, because every time I would boot up the game, I would hear that start playing. And it would start with that slow camera pan down across Grandpa's funeral.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
He fucked up. I don't think I need any of this. Okay, I don't. I'm sure there's probably a maker that makes hot sauce out of the chilies, but I don't feel like keeping yet another crop. I would love to go chop some wood, but I can't. I'm just gonna go to the mines, I suppose. I would really appreciate a prismatic shard. Like, seriously. I would really appreciate a prismatic shard. Because then I already have the dwarf scrolls. I can go read the tombstone, and then I can do the thing with the prismatic shard and get the galaxy sword, and that would make life a lot easier. Maybe I should check the quarry. Although it's extremely rare for the quarry to spawn one of those nodes. You know what I'm really excited for? I mean, I'm excited for freaking everything. Everything I tell you guys. I'm excited for someday far off into the future when maybe I can do VR content. That would be so nice. I'd have to get a new computer and all that because my computer as it is not gonna run VR. It gets up to like 76 degrees running Stardew and Streamlabs. You start Streamlabs in a 3D game, it just like heats up so much it reaches like critical temperature. Nuclear fission begins in the CPU. The reaction gets out of control and there's nobody there to put in a control rod, so you're just F'd in the A. Yeah, that's gonna be a big F. I've got an old boy computer. I signed my Twitter in on my phone. I really should have.
How you are, you just have to say that you're fine. And you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
They would never understand. I should have taken a picture. I should have taken a picture when Starlight and I had my processor out. The processor's 10 years old. You should do a VR stream. Yeah, when you get your new GPU, you should definitely do a VR stream. But my processor's 10 years old. Like, it actually, on the processor lid itself, it says manufactured in 2011. So I was gonna tweet AMD and be like, hey AMD, can I get a new computer for my processor's 10th birthday? But I didn't take a picture of it when it was out of my computer. You got a trash item? Oh. Like good trash or bad trash? I got about 10 minutes left, and I'm gonna start looking for somebody to raid. Trash, I see. So real quick. Just because I know that, well, let me check to be sure. Okay. All good. Some wheels in the game you didn't even want. Oh, like rims or something? Or just actual tires? I've never played Rocket League. But yeah, since I know that this person's not watching, and this was really annoying me yesterday, I would like to formally say that yesterday, like, in somebody else's stream, like in somebody else's Discord, right? They have a promote yourself channel. And I used to watch them stream all the time. And now that I finally, like, literally all the time, I had like 60,000 channel points. And subscribed for months. And now that I've started streaming, sometimes, you know, I try to keep it to like down to like 2 times a week. Because I do stream every day. But sometimes I will go to his Discord in the promote yourself chat. And I'll promote my stream, you know? Because that's what the channel's for. But what happened yesterday is that as soon as I posted that in his Discord, he messaged Starlight, Starlight, we live in the same house, his computer's right next to mine. And whenever Starlight is on the computer, if he's loud, everybody on my stream can hear it, you know? Because he's right next to me. So I posted in there like, hey, I'm going live, come watch me play Stardew. And this dude messages Starlight and is like, hey, do you want to play Faz? Which is a game where people get loud and scream a lot. And I know that he did it just because I was streaming. Because as soon as I said, okay guys, I got like 10 minutes left, I'm gonna go find somebody to raid. As soon as I said that, the dude was like, oh, alright, I gotta go to bed, I'm gonna dip out, guys. Like, the second that came out of my mouth. And that's just so, it's so dumb and so petty to me. Like, if somebody's gonna be that way, just kick me from your server. Just tell me. I'll leave. But it's the kind of person where they subtly make you uncomfortable. And then if you get, like, if you speak out about, hey, I think that was kind of a dickish thing to do, they'll be like, oh yeah, I didn't mean it that way at all. Really, I just left because I had to go to bed for work in the morning. But in this particular instance, they tried that excuse, and the other person that they were playing Faz with was like, dude, what are you talking about? I work with you, I've seen the schedule, and you don't have to be in to work until 2 p.m. So, why the heck are you trying to say you have to get off the computer and go to bed at like 9? And then he was just like, I gotta go help my grandma. And it's just so petty to me. Like, how petty can people be? How do people gotta be so childish? Yeah, he got called out. He got called out by his own coworker. Like, dude, you don't have to be until 2. Because his coworker was having fun. You know, his coworker was having fun playing Faz.
It was at this moment that he knew he fucked up.
Yeah. Oh my god, I'm majorly fading out of existence. 1 second. Alright, here we go. So this is gonna be, I'm gonna save, I'm gonna go to sleep for the night, I'm gonna let the next day start, I'm gonna let it tell me that it's saved and everything. And then I am gonna head out. Probably gonna get some more rest. I just wanted to stream while I had the energy. I'm glad I got to sneak that in at the end. Like, I know that nobody really super duper cares. It's just like, to me it's entertaining. Like, for somebody to put that much effort in, like, I'm glad I'm living rent-free in your head. Alright, let me go find someone to raid. Who's on?
I had. Oof.
Oh, that autoplay. Just lucky you saw the notification? Yeah. What is this? Okay. Zelius is playing Valheim. I kind of like Zelius. Zelius is like, really energetic. Has a femme appearing avatar, but a masculine sounding voice. Just so everybody knows before we raid in. Feel free to ask Zelius their pronouns. I don't actually know. I've only watched Zelius once before when I raided them. But I wouldn't mind going to say hi again. So, let's pop on over there. I want to thank everybody for hanging out. Thank you for sticking around, popping in the stream. Anybody that watches the VODs, always know that you can come catch this live, you can interact with the stream. And I've already put in the raid command, but on the way out, I will pop in the Discord and donate links. If you're not in the Discord already, feel free to join. You can chat with me and chat with other viewers.
That looks interesting.
It's a pretty fun place to hang out. Like, let's be honest, it's pretty awesome. And, in general, when I'm going live, when I'm going to do some group activities, when I'm doing anything, I'm probably going to post about it there first. Alright, thanks for hanging out, and I will see you guys later today with an amazing theme-appropriate game that most people have probably never heard of.